People don't realize the cyber economy is the third largest economy in the world. That's how much money is being made through scams and hackers. It is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If you ask your inner circle if anyone's gotten scammed, I promise you one or two people will at least say like, hey, yeah, I did get scammed. The fact that we're not talking about it means more and more people are going to get scammed, and more people are going to continue to think, oh, it's not going to happen to me, until it happens to them.
So, Caitlin, to start us off, do you mind introducing yourself and what you do?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Caitlin Sarian. Most people online know me as Cybersecurity Girl, which is still very weird to me to hear. But I have been in cyber now for 12 or 13 years. I'm losing track of time. I had no cyber skills whatsoever before I got into cyber. I learned literally everything on the job. And that was one of the reasons why I started the channel. But I'm sure we're going to go through all of that on this podcast, but just really happy to be here.
What are some of the spiciest social media scams that you've seen recently?
So I think the spiciest is like when they pretend to be like a celebrity, or like I had a giveaway a few months ago, and people like there was so many accounts that popped up as like Cybersecurity Girl giveaway, like you won, and they were messaging like everyone that basically entered into the giveaway saying that they won, and they were asking them for their information. So unless it's coming from that person's verified account, even then, because some of these celebrities are getting hacked too, but with blanket statement, let's just say it has to come from their verified account. If it doesn't, like, proceed with extreme caution or just ignore. And then, I mean, that happens all the time. During the holidays, it's way worse. Like the sponsored posts on like TikTok and Meta and stuff, they are getting crazy because obviously all hackers and scammers have to do is pay for their posts to be, sponsored and like at the top. So you see it, you think it's a legit company, but I promise you they're making way more money than what they're paying for sponsorship. A lot of accounts are like reaching out to like creators that are trying to be bigger creators, like the smaller creators, like the 10,000 to 20,000 or 50,000. And they're pretending to be real brands saying, hey, we want to work with you, but they're doing the whole like bait and switch of like, oh, can you please send us money so we're able to send you money? And people are like really falling for it because they think it's the brand. And that's like kind of what I see a lot. I mean, there's so many scams. Even like people on social media that have like millions of followers will reach out to me and be like, do you need a sales plan? I'm like, no, I don't need it from you. I'm not even responding to this because I don't think you're real. Because you can also pay for followers and you can pay to get verified now. So like, it's hard to trust, like, unless you like really know these people, and also like look at when they last posted, right? So a lot of times if a verified person messages you, if they haven't posted in like 6 months or like within a month, I would be very cautious. They probably had their account hacked and now they're just using it to kind of reach out to other people as like a way to confirm that they're a real person when they're not.
How about romance scams on dating profiles?
Oh
Are you hearing
gosh.
about some of those?
I really want to talk about sextortion scams. So this is like something that's like really like on my heart because I feel so bad for the people that are getting like in this situation. Unfortunately, it's a lot of like younger boys because boys don't really talk a lot about what's going on like on their inbox. Your guys are pretty private. Like my boyfriend plays golf and you guys can be gone for like 6 hours with the guys and he comes back and I'm like, so how's their life? What are they doing? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, what did you talk about for 6 hours? So like you guys just don't really talk about a lot of stuff. But sextortion scams are huge because what's happening is a lot of accounts, like fake accounts, are getting spun up online. And they look like girls, or again, it could be for girls too, but it's mostly happening to like younger boys. And the girl like, relates to them, they talk to them, and then they ultimately start like, it's kind of like a romance scam. You start texting them and like wanting to be in a relationship. And then she doesn't respond to you. Like she doesn't answer your phone calls, but she'll send you photos of herself and then wants you to send her photos back of yourself. The issue is those photos are already stolen, or they're AI generated, or they're like already online like somehow. And then the boys are sending photos of themselves back. And one of two things happen. One is the scammers say, you better keep sending these photos or I'm going to tell and show the world, or pay us money and we'll stop, we won't share it with anyone else.
To
So,
be clear, we're talking about sexually compromising photos.
yeah, sexually
of yourself.
compromised photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really explicit photos of, private areas or full whatever, frontals or whatever it is. But kids are doing it because, first of all, they inherently trust technology. They inherently trust what's behind the screen, unfortunately. And actually, kids are the ones that are the biggest risk of falling for scams, not the elderly, which I think is a huge myth.
Because they're too accepting, because they've grown up in this ecosystem. Yeah.
Exactly. And the elderly, the issue that everyone talks about the elderly is that they have more to lose, right? Like they have a lot of money that they can give or like can get stolen, whereas kids, they don't have as much. But yeah, the sextortion things is like a real issue, and it's led to a lot of like unfortunate like suicides and a lot of other things. And so romance scams, sextortion, it's all stuff online. And the blanket statement is unless you have met them in person or you've like met them like FaceTime. When I was on dating apps like a long time ago, I was like, we have to FaceTime. Like, I'm not going to meet you until we FaceTime. Cause that's just kind of creepy. So don't be sending money, like try not to get hooked. Again, it's easier said than done, but just be very cautious and wary. And then the other thing with romance scams and with sextortion, but it's mostly with romance scams because it's for the more the older population that have more money to lose. There is something called pig butchering, which I don't like referring to it like this because it's referring to people that are getting scammed as like pigs. And I think that's just disgusting. But the reason why they call it pig butchering is because basically it's a long con scam. So they're talking to you for like 6 months or more before they start trying to like get money out of you. And they're basically fattening the pig for that long. They're like, feeding into whatever you want to believe until they slaughter you or butcher you, and then you're like the fattest pig, so they can get the most money out of you. So a lot of these are like crypto scams or financial scams where they're like, hey, you can investment scams. It's a huge thing. So they're like, you can invest in this company and you can see all this stuff and like keep putting money in and you'll see it, and then one day you'll put so much money and at that point it'll just be gone, and you no longer have that investment and they won't talk to you anymore. So it happens with romance scams. It's just a long con scam. And if you think, why would a hacker or scammer do that for that long? Again, it's all about the money. And if they can get, 100,000 off of you in 6 months versus $600 off of you one time, I guarantee you they're going to go for the longer term scam. And it doesn't mean anything to them because you are just business. You're a dollar sign.
I want to bring up something that you mentioned a couple minutes ago, and that was AI-generated scams and deepfakes. And specifically something that has me really worried is that every time some new update gets pushed to a Sora or similar program, I just think about the hours and hours of content of myself that I have on the internet and how well my scam bot is going to be able to be trained here in the very near future, and how it's going to be indistinguishable from regular video here sometime very soon. What is your perspective on that? And what are the scams that have you most worried when it comes to AI generated content?
Yeah. So AI generated content is super scary to me, but there's only so much we can do, right? Which is having that safe word with your loved ones, and we can go through that. Right now, AI generated scams aren't as prevalent because it's still pretty hard to do. I'm more concerned about the misinformation and disinformation campaigns coming from different countries. A country that we're kind of up against, right? Like China, Russia, of the sorts. And they start putting like reputable people's AI videos out there saying wrong things, but like pushing out so many videos. Like just like we're getting so many scam messages, right? It's going to be very hard for people to tell what's real and what's not.
When all of a sudden people start making AI generated videos of Joe Rogan, but instead of pushing fake products that he didn't really vouch for, he's instead pushing political narratives.
Political narratives, or even fake products or anything, like the videos that your kids are watching, right? Like what happens if that starts like filtering in? What happens if they start changing Bluey and like Bluey is now saying ridiculous things to your kids? I don't know. Like there's like so much that can go off of the AI deepfakes. That's what my concern is more than scams. I mean, I'd love to get your opinion on like what you think are the biggest issues with AI If you have a safe word, which is like really, I don't know how else to protect yourself besides have a safe word and don't answer calls that you don't know. Obviously, there's SIM swapping and spoofing, which makes it look like you're knowing someone, but that's a pretty targeted account. Like that's a pretty targeted scam. Like how else are you seeing like AI deepfakes like working, and like what's like your biggest issue with it besides scams?
Compromat, really vile, compromising material. We've already seen AI be used to create custom pornography and really disgusting things, and the implications to that. What is the most vile stuff that you can imagine AI being used to create to make someone look bad, to destroy their personal reputation, to destroy them at work? That's what's pretty stressful to me. And I want to return to something you said because it has been the most fascinating part of this whole conversation to me. It's that the answer to this problem may not be the verification technology to tell what is AI and what isn't, because at some point it's going to get so good that we may not be able to tell. But it is going to be returning to the analog that you're talking about. It's going to be the safe word. It's going to be either there is some real world secret handshake that you have to have with your loved ones to know what's real and what isn't. I have to call out Dr. Katie Paxton Fear for the secret handshake metaphor. I think it's a great one. She dropped it on a previous podcast. It's either going to have to be something like that or the safe word or some real world analog solution and not some technical solution. Is that what you meant by safe word?
Yeah. Like my family has a safe word because I'm like, I don't know if someone's going to try to call you, like pretending to be me using my voice. I don't think they're going to FaceTime them. Like that'd just be a little ridiculous and far-fetched with the technology that we have right now. But I'm like, a AI call, deepfake call with my voice could easily be used and pretend that they have me or that I'm kidnapped or that I need help. I've seen like messages saying, hey, I'm stopped on the side of a road. I like left my wallet. I need gas. Can you just send me $400 to Venmo? But don't send it to me because I don't have my phone. Like I'm with my friend XYZ. Like, can you please just sell me? And like that stuff happens. And I've definitely had like that happened to a friend. But I think it's more just having a family safe word. Like my family knows unless I say this one word / compilation of words, like it's not me. I want to talk about like all the new scams and all the tech scams and warn people, but at the end of the day, it's still like impersonation scams, like we're calling from the FBI or the police, or romance scams, which is also impersonating. They're impersonating someone that you think that you're dating. Those are the scams that still get everyone. Or fake delivery scams, like text messages.
I actually had this on my list. I wanted to talk to you about this. Some huge quantity of like missed package notifications are fake. Can you talk about this?
Yeah, so like pretty much every missed package, like I think the ones that almost get me are like you have a missed package, especially when you're waiting for you, like, oh no, and you like want to react and you want to log in and like, where did my package go? Or I think last year I got an email from Amazon being like, hey, your Amazon Prime payment didn't go through, like we're canceling all the orders and XYZ. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean it didn't go through? And like I almost fell for it, but obviously I took a step back and I was like, wait, I called my mom. Like when you take a step back, call someone. It really puts things into perspective, by the way.
The response is always the same. You know what I mean? Like you get in like 30 seconds into explaining what happens, and then there's like a pause on the phone and the other person goes, well, that's obviously a scam, right? Yeah. You're like, yeah, it is.
But sometimes you just got to step out of it. You got to step out of it.
Yeah.
So there's so many, like, again, fake websites that are popping up that you're going to get like nothing. You're just giving them your information, your payment details. There's obviously like the fake shipping, like, oh, like UPS, USPS, like DHL or whatever you're shipping, like getting fake. Even if you're like, oh, I didn't realize I had a DHL package. Like maybe one of my things that I ordered is DHL. Let me click on it. Like honestly, blanket statement, just don't, once you order something from a legitimate website, just don't look at any shipping. Because it should come at this point. I feel like I would feel like 90% or more shipping emails are probably fake this holiday season.
I'm sorry, you said 90%?
I would assume.
That's wild.
But
Yeah.
don't you think, like, I don't know, like, when do you ever, let's think about it. When do you ever get shipping notifications?
Yeah, I mean, almost never. And why would you not just go through the vendor portal where you bought the product to begin with? It would take you 30 extra seconds. That's what I would say.
Yeah. So, I mean, holiday shopping is like the biggest. I think I did research and it was like $1.3 million is spent every minute during the
Oh my
holidays.
goodness. Wow.
So, like, everyone's ordering, everyone's shopping, everyone's getting stuff shipped, which is why we keep getting all these messages again, they don't care who you are, they just want money.
I've seen you mention recently in some of your content that your most successful series is how to delete yourself.
Yeah.
Can you touch on that and talk about what you mean by that?
Back in the 2000s, when, MySpace first started coming up and like internet first, well, I guess MySpace was more like 2010-ish. Internet was like really blooming. Like, we wanted to like be part of everything online, right? Like, we wanted to give all of our information. We wanted to be like so present and be like riding that next wave of technology. Now we've had it in our pockets for so many years and everything's collecting our data, and we're starting to realize that that's like not helpful. We're starting to realize that maybe creating an account is like leading to more scam messages, or, creating your account and creating a bigger digital footprint for you is not as beneficial as you think. In terms of like deleting data, like, I just think it is a digital footprint, right? Like, every time you go online, every time you create an account and a rewards account or any type of account, and pretty much every website you go on, they like pretty much force you to create an account unless you have to go through all these hoops about continuing as a guest. But every time you do that, your digital footprint gets bigger and bigger, which means that you're a bigger target, especially from an OSINT perspective, which means like you're a lot easier to find. And I want to give an example. So there's AI right now that's created to basically scrape every public data public site, not just like data brokers, but public site that about you. So, for example, it's used to train for corporations. Like, corporate can pay and like make specialized emails for certain people in their company. But you give them a name and it will scrape pretty much everything from like marriage sites, like wedding registries, like obviously all the social media, like any account that is open to the public, your Pinterest, everything. And it will figure out like this AI actually was able to figure out a dog's name because someone's wedding registry had a dog bow that said for Rover. And it was like, their dog's name is Rover. And use that in an email and literally was able to scrape the data about this person and create a very legit looking email.
You mean like personalized
Email about like their dog named Rover. And again, like, they didn't mention their dog named Rover in social media, but on their wedding registry, they mentioned it because I guess the dog was like part of the wedding. And so you don't realize that every single thing you do online is mostly public, can be scraped and used against you. And that's like the AI that I get really worried about. But deleting your data, specifically like your personal information, like your phone number and your parents' name, like, I used to be like, when I went on 4 years ago, you'd search my name and you'd see my brother's name, my sister's name, my grandma's name, and then you'd click on theirs and it would go to like where they lived, all the addresses that have been associated with them, sometimes even their IP address, which is like a whole nother issue in itself. And so I just wanted to start showing people that, because I, even as a cybersecurity person and as an 8 years in cyber, I didn't realize that was so public. And so I started showing people like what you can do to start deleting yourself and kind of start lessening your digital footprint.
You've got a million projects going on right now. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or plug before we call this thing?
Like you said, I have a million projects. So I have a podcast coming out pretty soon. I haven't decided the date yet. It's already been filmed, but I haven't figured out how to edit it. I'm not as good as you. So it's called Cyber Confessions. But my whole point in life, in my personal opinion, my purpose is to just train and educate the general public about like scams, safety tips, like simple routines that they can do online. So just following my accounts and sharing with your friends and loved ones like means the world to me, because I feel like it's my job and my responsibility to protect people because no one else is doing it. So the podcast is really bringing technical jargon and issues down to the public and making it like relatable and understandable and interesting and fun. Like, I didn't want another technical cyber podcast. I really wanted like something similar to this, right? Where we're just talking about cyber tips and like the craziest things you've seen. And so it's going to be really interesting. I'm so excited. I've watched the first few episodes and I'm like very excited to put it out. So it's called Cyber Confessions Podcast. And then, yeah, I'm just like, follow my socials because you'll stay up to date.
We focused on one very narrow line of questions here with regards to current trends and tips and things like that. But you have this whole other side of you where you do work in new people who are curious about cyber careers and that angle, in addition to all the other projects you work on. You've been to the Vatican, U.S. naval aircraft carriers, all kinds of stuff we didn't even touch on in this conversation. So hopefully in the future, we can have you back.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're interested in cybersecurity, I created Cyber Career Club for you because I was so tired of companies like exploiting you, making you pay like thousands of dollars for a certification that doesn't actually get you a job. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, mentoring is everything. That's how I got in. And that's honestly how a majority of the people in cyber got in. Like cybersecurity wasn't a career path 10 years ago. And so the Cyber Career Club is really, it's $37 a month. It's super affordable. And I have office hours almost every week. We bring in guest speakers. We have study groups for certifications. And it was just supposed to make it affordable for everyday people. It allows you to like take a quiz to help you understand what area of cyber you'd get into. We have a free intro course that goes over all the different areas of cyber. So if you're interested in Cyber Career Club too, definitely check it out. But thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, Josh.
And thank you. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of Private Chat, make sure to subscribe because we got lots more conversations with the leading voices in cybersecurity, tech, and AI coming your way, plus lots more docs, explainers, and news that I know you're going to love. Also, if you're concerned about whether or not your personal information has been leaked online, I'm going to leave a link down below in the description to Cybernews' password leak checker, plus our recommended provider if you want to delete your data online. All good stuff. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.